All right, what is going on YouTube? So for today's video, I wanted to talk about, is Dead or Alive 7 coming? Are the mainline Dead or Alive fighting games coming back anytime soon? Because I think for most of you guys, I'm pretty sure you probably found this channel from one or two of my Dead or Alive videos because they are the most popular videos on this channel. And you know, for a long time, we were under the impression that a Dead or Alive reboot was on its way alongside a Ninja Gaiden reboot, because years ago, that was the information that we got, was that Koei Tecmo, Team Ninja were working on rebooting some of their most beloved franchises, being Dead or Alive and Ninja Gaiden. Now, with the recent Ninja Gaiden 2 Black coming out, you know, as of a few days ago, and Ninja Gaiden 4 announced on the way coming out later this year, as well as Ninja Gaiden Rage Bound, which is coming out this year in the summer. You know, the recent Ninja Gaiden renaissance leads me to believe that Dead or Alive will soon have its own renaissance, and I kind of want to get into that in this video. So yeah, let's get into it, shall we? So as I mentioned earlier, we were under the impression that Dead or Alive was going to get a reboot alongside Ninja Gaiden from Team Ninja and Koei Tecmo, because a few years ago, that was the information that we got from one of the directors or one of the team leaders. Can't remember exactly who it was, but that was the information we got in like an interview from someone important from those two companies. However, as time went on, it seemed less and less likely for that to happen because, well, fighting games have been in kind of a weird spot. DOA 6 didn't exactly leave the best taste in people's mouths, and we just didn't really hear a ton of new information on it past that point. Of course, you could argue that's kind of to be expected because these games take a while to develop, but it's also been a while since the last Dead or Alive game, which was DOA 6 in 2019. So people were saying that the Dead or Alive reboot is canceled. And I think another reason why people were under the assumption that it got canceled is because Soul Calibur 7 was also planned to be in development and planned to be coming out, but it got canceled because Soul Calibur 6 just didn't hit the numbers it needed to hit. And, you know, the champion that was really trying to push for Soul Calibur 6 and, you know, the revival of that Soul Calibur franchise and series, yeah, they basically told him that 6 was it. He had to make something work with 6 and hit a certain amount of numbers, or else it was kind of, you know, it might be time to pack it up with that franchise. And that's unfortunate because I love Soul Calibur. But I digress. When Soul Calibur 7 kind of got canceled, seemingly, I think people kind of just assumed the same fate was happening with Dead or Alive, the reboot / DOA 7, whatever you want to call it, right? The next Dead or Alive game was also kind of canceled. And I can see why. I mean, it makes sense. With how fighting games are going now too, it just, I don't know, it feels, you know, I guess this is a deeper discussion for a different video, but fighting games nowadays have taken quite the turn, and I don't think they're in a very great spot right now. But, you know, there's a lot of different reasons why that is, and there's a lot to talk about. So if you guys are interested in all of that and want to hear me ramble about it, hey, you already know what to do. Subscribe to the channel. You might as well while you're here. But anyway, we thought that this franchise or the next game in this franchise would be canceled. However, recently we got a new Dead or Alive game announced. Now, it's not a Dead or Alive fighting game, but it is the other side of the Dead or Alive franchise, being the Dead or Alive Extreme series. So 2 months ago, we got the Dead or Alive Extreme Venus Vacation Prism first trailer. And I'm not gonna lie, the graphics look really, really, really good. Like, this looks insane. I love just seeing the Dead or Alive characters and models in higher resolution, higher pixel models, like everything. It looks great. It looks great, right? But obviously, Dead or Alive Extreme is different from Dead or Alive, or should I say the Dead or Alive fighting game series, right? And not to say that that's bad or that the DOA Extreme series is bad by any means, but it's just different, right? It's not a fighting game. But at the very least, I think with this announcement, with this trailer of the game, you know, seeing characters like Honoka, who is in the Dead or Alive fighting game series, in a higher resolution model, you know, that should already kind of tell you, well, at least that model for that character is done and is upgraded. They made an upgraded version of her, right? Of her model. So if they were to make a Dead or Alive game, you know, of the fighting game series, they could use that already upgraded model. You know what I'm saying? You see where I'm going? Now, we also got an article around the same time that this trailer came out, right? This trailer came out November 1st of last year, and we got an article from Game Rant that came out November 25th of last year. That kind of talks a little bit about Koei Tecmo's new strategy for their AAA games. So I kind of want to read a little bit of this to give you guys a little more information as to why the franchise could be on the come up and in its revival arc very soon. So yeah, it says here, the Dead or Alive series technically isn't dead, but it hasn't received a new mainline installment in quite some time. The last proper fighting game in the franchise was 2019's Dead or Alive 6, which garnered a somewhat contentious reputation among fans due to its excessive monetization. Aside from the occasional Asia-exclusive spin-off title like Dead or Alive Extreme 3, Scarlet, and Venus Vacation Prism, Dead or Alive Extreme, the franchise's lead developer Team Ninja has largely shifted its focus towards other intellectual properties within the last few years. That being said, some recent news regarding Koei Tecmo, the Japanese firm that owns Team Ninja, suggests that the next chapter of Dead or Alive may happen sooner rather than later. The Dead or Alive series could soon be revived thanks to Koei Tecmo's new strategy. During a shareholder Q&A session, Koei Tecmo shared its outlook on the future of the gaming industry and its plans to adapt to market trends. One of the major topics that the company discussed at the event was mobile gaming. While Koei Tecmo isn't a major player in the mobile game market, it has adapted several of its flagship franchises for iOS and Android in recent times, including Atelier Nobunaga's Ambition and Romance of the Three Kingdoms. In spite of these efforts, Koei Tecmo intends to scale back its investments in mobile gaming because, according to the firm, significant growth is unlikely to be seen in the field. Instead of trying to increase its presence in the mobile game market, Koei Tecmo wants to double down on AAA video game development. Due to the recent success of big-budget video games from China and Korea, presumably Black Myth Wukong and Stellar Blade, among other titles, Koei Tecmo believes that the console and PC game market will grow in the near future. Because of this, it aims to release AAA video games on an annual basis going forward. In order to achieve this lofty goal, the company intends to double its employee headcount from 2,500 to 5,000 in the coming years. Given how much renewed interest Koei Tecmo is showing in the AAA game market, the release of a new mainline Dead or Alive game seems more likely than ever. In fact, a recent statement from a developer at Team Ninja adds further credence to the idea. In an interview with Touch Arcade from February 2024, Wolong Fallen Dynasty director Masakazu Hirayama was asked if Koei Tecmo had any interest in reviving the Dead or Alive franchise. While Hirayama did state that the company didn't have plans to bring the series back at the time, he said that it was, quote, always considering the possibility, end quote, of making more Dead or Alive games. The fighting game genre is currently undergoing a bit of a renaissance in no small part due to the release of critically acclaimed games like Tekken 8, Street Fighter 6, and Guilty Gear Strive. Since Koei Tecmo is so adamant about expanding its footprint in the AAA game market, it would be wise of them to capitalize on this resurgence by bringing the Dead or Alive series back with a new numbered installment. So yeah, that was the article. And you know, it seems to be already being proven legit as, like I said at the beginning of the video, we just got Ninja Gaiden 4 announced, Ninja Gaiden 2 Black just came out, and we're getting a Ninja Gaiden Ragebound, 2D game in the summer. So this is seeming like the year of Ninja Gaiden, if you ask me. But what about the year of DOA? Now, I've already seen a lot of people make clips about the physics of some of the characters in the Ninja Gaiden 2 remake, like Ayane and Rachel and whatnot. And, people will be saying, like, in the comments or in the post, like, Team Ninja is back, I'm assuming they're referring to the degeneracy of the physics that they used to have in some of the old Ninja Gaiden games, as well as the older DOA games, right? Now, if you ask me, from looking at those clips, I think the physics are plenty bouncyful. The fan service is well more than what games are currently giving us, right? So I think it's safe to say they are most certainly back in that regard. Now, me personally, I've already made a video talking about, is the fan service of DOA important? And, fan service in games and fighting games in general, I think there's a lot to be said. And I've already recorded a few videos diving deeper into those topics. So if you guys want to know more about what I think and more just in general information about that topic, definitely be sure to subscribe. But I think that kind of dives into a deeper discussion for a different video. But to kind of keep on this discussion of DOA in particular, yeah, I think, those physics were kind of hinting at them not really being afraid of going back to the way things were. And I think, next year, 2026, may be the year of DOA. I would imagine they don't want to clash with Ninja Gaiden. And if 2025 is the year of Ninja Gaiden, they might be holding out for 2026 to make that the year of DOA. Maybe we get some re-releases of the older DOA games. Because right now, you can play all of them on Xbox. DOA 1, 2, 3, like the ultimate versions, I think. And then 4 is also backwards compatible on Xbox Series S and X. But those games are not on PlayStation. PlayStation only has DOA 5 and DOA 6 for like the games that you can play on PS5. And I mean, not that there's anything wrong with that. I have an Xbox, kind of got it specifically for those games and, a few other backwards compatible games. But, maybe they want to re-release DOA 1 through 4 in a package of some kind. That would be kind of cool, I mean, for the PlayStation fans that are missing out. Or I'm not sure if PC players are able to play those games, but I would imagine so. I'm not sure, but I know they're on Xbox. But yeah, maybe they have a re-release of some kind, like for those games to hype us up for DOA 7. But I also feel like not only are they trying to plan around Ninja Gaiden and the releases of the Ninja Gaiden games that they have coming, they're also probably trying to plan around the next Virtua Fighter game, Virtua Fighter 6, which we've seen a little bit of, but we don't know exactly when that's coming out, right? And they need to, I'm sure they don't want to compete too much with another 3D fighting game, the other 3D fighting game that they, kind of have competition with, right? I mean, Tekken right now is like the only modern 3D fighting game that's like there, right? And Virtua Fighter's on its way. So DOA, if they want to be smart, I feel like they need to maybe let Virtua Fighter have its year. Tekken already had its run, its hype DLC. It's going to keep going, obviously, but it's no longer like the new hot thing, right? Virtua Fighter's going to be that new hot thing when it drops for a little bit. So if DOA wants to like have its own time to shine, I think, yeah, they should probably play it smart, and they should probably release it in a time that's not too close to Virtua Fighter 6. They could also, learn from what Virtua Fighter 6 decides to implement that people, give positive feedback on, and learn from the mistakes that Tekken made, that Street Fighter 6 made, that Mortal Kombat 1 made, etc., right? They can use all that time and information to really just make DOA 7 the best game that we could possibly ask for, Not only that, but I do think that the good side to this is, before I really felt like Team Ninja was trying to reboot DOA to get rid of the fan service and appeal to like newer audiences, gain new fans. But I think now with this renaissance, with the success of Stellar Blade and, games like that, I think they're maybe no longer trying to get rid of fan service and, trying to reboot the series and appeal to new faces. I think now we're actually going to get a DOA 7 instead of a DOA reboot. So if there's any positive takeaway from having to wait this long, I think that is it right there. And I do think that DOA is coming back, and those are all the reasons why. So definitely let me know what you guys think about anything I had to say in this video. I would greatly appreciate hearing what you guys have to say in the comments below. Yeah, I'm curious what the DOA fan base is thinking right now, because, I make videos of me and my friends playing DOA, and, they don't get a ton of views, but I do that to show that I genuinely do love this game and love this series and this franchise. And like, it's not like I'm out here shilling only when it matters, only when it's a hot topic to talk about. I genuinely love this series and love this franchise, and the videos of me playing it all the time with my friends is the proof, that's the proof, right? I'm not gonna name any names, but I'm just saying, I'm not like these other fighting game content creators that shill for Virtua Fighter but don't really play the game, only talk about it when you know, it's to compare to other fighting games or to talk about new Virtua Fighter news or anything, you know. I'm just saying, I actually play the games and make videos of them and don't care about the views because I just genuinely have fun with them. I'm just saying. But yeah, if you've been around the channel for a while, you can already tell and you already know I do really love Dead or Alive, like actually. And yeah, I'm definitely going to be talking more this franchise in upcoming videos. So if you guys are interested, you already know what to do. Please leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. That would help me out a ton. But yeah, as always, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll see y'all hopefully in the next one.